So today I want to talk about the probably most bizarre thing that happened during my PhD defense, and that is that at some point one committee member told me my work was great, and basically 5 minutes later another committee member called it rubbish. And of course, I want to share some thoughts about that and what I learned from that experience, and hopefully you can learn something too. So basically this happened, right? I was going through my slides, and after I finished everything, talking about my stuff, of course there is some time for the committee members to ask questions, and there was one committee member who told me my work was great. We were talking about some results, they had some questions, so a very nice discussion. And basically 5 minutes later, another committee member told me the completely opposite, basically, that my work wasn't good enough, that this was incomplete, that this was not nice things to hear. Of course, we are having a scientific discussion, but you cannot avoid this ego hit that you get once someone criticizes or questions your work. However, what I learned from that experience is that you cannot really influence how other people are going to feel about your work. And this means that, of course, no matter how much effort you put into it, and no matter how much love and ambition and how much effort you put into it, some people just will think that your work is not good enough. And that's okay, because of course, we have different opinions, we have different, especially in science, we have different scientific approaches, we have different ways of how we understand things and so on. So what can we do when this happens? I learned that the only thing that brings me peace in that moment is that my work is clear. And whenever I do something, whenever I'm working with my clients, whenever I'm doing anything basically, I always aim to make my work clear. You do not have to love my work, you do not have to like my work, but you have to understand it. And this is something that I took for myself right from this experience, because that person clearly didn't like my work, but at least they understood it. And this is something that I really appreciate, because I put a lot of effort for my thesis to be understandable, for my work to be understandable to someone who is outside of my field, or at least not quite inside in my specific thing that I'm doing. So if you feel that people criticize your work, if you feel that people are saying at some point your work is not good enough, you can always say, okay, right, my work might not be something you like or something which would be your cup of tea, but at least you understand it. This is something that I always tell my clients. You cannot influence the way other people are going to perceive your work, but you can always make sure that your work is clear, structured, and understandable to others. And this is sort of the entire philosophy of my work and my coaching. I really want to help STEM professionals make sure that their work and their projects are structured, clear, and understandable to others in a way that they can be rewarded for the amazing work they're doing. Because of course, if people don't understand what your work is about, it's very, very difficult that they will give any sort of opinion. And for every person that doesn't like your work, for every person that thinks your work is not good enough, there are many, many others who will find it interesting, who will find it useful, and who will find it actually something they like. So this would be my message for you. So if someone criticizes your work, don't worry, this is just something that happens. And if they criticize it, they had to understand it in order to criticize it. So actually that's a good thing for you. That means that you are working in a clear way, that you are explained it clearly, and they have actually something to criticize. Because otherwise they would just tune off and start scrolling, as it happens at conferences, as many of us do in conferences, in talks, or wherever it is when we are not understanding something and something feels quite complex. So having said that, this is exactly what I help STEM professionals do. Make sense of their projects, put some structures in their messy projects when they are complex, when they are not quite sure in which direction they should go, and of course communicate it in a way that it's clear both to them and to others. And I will leave a link down below where you can schedule a completely free intro coaching call with me, where you can get a sense of how this looks like in real life, what does it actually mean to bring structure to your complex project, and how that would work exactly on your specific projects and your specific examples. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and see you next time in another video. Bye bye.